As a kid, I didn't grow up on reservation housing. My family and I actually live like a mile or two down the road. But when I was young, uh, we all went to school together. So like Juliet, I, and the rest of the tribal kids all went to school in Elton, and we saw each other at school. Sometimes we went to tutoring after school at the education department, and sometimes we would run around up and down the roads and kick a soccer ball or throw a football, and it was pretty carefree as far as I can remember it.
I've actually lived in housing for a couple of years, only a couple. I was 16 whenever I moved back here. And like Eli said, there are some rougher components and there's a rough environment, so to speak, around, but it's like stuff that people who live in town, I used to live in town and then I moved back here. And it's like, even though you're a couple of miles away from the reservation, it's just the biggest transition that you can go through. And you do see things that you wouldn't normally see if you were a few miles away in town, living in Elton. But for the most part, I would say that if you have your goals in front of you, you have certain things that you want to focus on, you kind of shut out all of the negativity around you and you just try to make the best of it.
My background growing up Indian was in the heritage department, so my parents helped direct and coordinate that whenever I was growing up. And so, like part of what Juliet said, my favorite part about being Kashada, and more largely about being Native American, is having some sort of duty, a responsibility to your people and to your tribe, to do your best and to know that your successes and your failures are not personal, but they're based in your community. And so you don't have the liberty, as maybe some other kids who are less connected to their ethnic communities do, to mess around or to not fulfill your goals, because your lowest lows will be lower because you have expectations put upon you, but your greatest triumphs and your greatest successes will be that much greater because you have your people and your family supporting you and hoping for you.
I would definitely tell my younger brothers and younger Native Americans who actually live in housing that in order to succeed back here, it's really not that hard to understand. You basically just have to set goals for yourself.
If you really want to connect with your culture and with your heritage, you have to come back. You may not need to live here. You may not need to stay here for a long, extended period of time. But if you don't come back and see where your people are living, if you don't come back and see the Heritage Department and see everything surrounding this area, you'll never get a feel for not only what we have gone through, but what we're still going through and the environment that we live in now.
My advice to young people, no matter whether they're in middle school, high school, or just recently graduated, I believe that, as cliche as it sounds, don't ever let somebody tell you that you can't do something. No matter what it is that you want to do, no matter where you want to go or what your goals are, don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't. Set a goal for yourself, whether it's something that people laugh about, something that somebody thinks is impossible. Always remember that nothing is impossible if you have God on your side. I wasn't raised by my biological mom or dad. My grandmother raised me, and she was the one who taught me to be independent. She taught me to set a goal for myself and to reach that goal, and she was always there to support me. And some people may not even have that, but it's just the fact that you have to believe in yourself that you want to do something no matter what that is. And it's like you can't let anybody tell you that you're just going to be a statistic.
So I guess my last bit of advice for kids in the tribe and for Kashada kids would be just to understand that you can do it. If nothing else, if you don't have family there with you every day telling you that you can do it like I did, if you don't have a support system in place telling you that you can do it, believe me, you can. There are resources here and outside of the tribe that you can take advantage of if you're motivated, if you have the work ethic, if you want to achieve something, if you want to be successful. No matter how bleak it seems, no matter how few resources it seems exist, no matter how down you get or how dire your situation may seem, just know that there are people that care about you. It doesn't matter where you come from, because we have such a strong community here and we have such great resources that you can accomplish what you need to accomplish.